But another club, obviously, who I think a lot of the January transfer window is going to be circling around this club is Liverpool. So, according to pretty much all of the main sources of Liverpool, so you've got Paul Joyce, Dominic King, James Pearce and co., it seems like Liverpool are so very still interested in Mark Gay. I mean, you all know what happened in the summer with Mark Gay. But according to The Athletic, Liverpool do not expect Palace's stance of keeping him for the rest of the season to change in January. But Liverpool have the freedom to react in the market if they need to, but will likely stick what they have in defence. But there was something that will be worrying them. Is it's also come out in the last week or so that Barcelona are one of the clubs keeping on close tabs on Gay with an eye on the summer. Club sources, they are monitoring the Crystal Palace 25-year-old England international because obviously it's Barcelona. They like a cheap deal at the moment because their finances are still up and down, the best to say the least. But Mark Gay will be on a free. Do you think Liverpool should try and force another move for Gay in January rather than wait for the summer?
Without a doubt.
And if so, are they not even going to get him in the summer if he's got kind of the pick of the bunch?
Without a doubt, Liverpool should be going for Mark Gahey. He wanted to join in the summer, but let's be honest, the vibe around Liverpool in the summer was very different to the vibe around Liverpool now.
Yeah,
everyone,
big time.
A lot of people have touted them to walk the league and look at the signings and Isak and Wirtz. It hasn't gone that way. So whether Mark Gahey looks at it now and goes, well, it's not kind of the same. The team's not clicking. Maybe I could go to Barca if they're linked. I think Real Madrid could be a good move for Gahey. Obviously, they were interested in Canate. It looked like that was going to happen, but they've withdrawn their interest. So I think Gahey's good enough to play for any club in Europe. I really do think he's that good. I think he'll be a starter for
one of the best centre backs in the Premier League.
Exactly. I think he'll be a starter for England in the World Cup as well. So, yeah, he's got the pick of the bunch. So, yeah, if you were Liverpool, I think you go all out, try and get him in because Konate's not been at it. They need to rotate. Leone, obviously, the young centre-back they brought in, tore his ACL. So, yeah, they need players. And Mark Gahey would solve a lot of problems.
According to Conor O'Neill of The Athletic, this is to stay with Liverpool, is obviously they were linked with Semenyo when the whole Salah outburst started. Obviously, whatever club under the sun is linked with Semenyo. But according to The Athletic, Liverpool do not expect the Egyptian attacker to leave in January. So in that case, there wouldn't be a space in the squad to fill. And obviously, the other piece of news at the moment is on Harvey Elliott. So Harvey Elliott moves to Aston Villa, and I think at the time, everyone goes, very, very good move from him for Liverpool and for Aston Villa as well. Great young player, not quite be able to make it through at Liverpool, considering all the attacking signings they're bringing in. But it's just not worked out. He's barely been in a squad. So according to The Athletic, a decision needs to be taken over Harvey Elliott's short-term future. The loan he's got at Villa does not include a recall clause. So it's not as simple as Liverpool just decided to bring him back and ending what is described as a nightmare move. Villa will also have to pay a termination fee to terminate the loan early. So kind of he's stuck in a bit of a kind of rock and a hard place, isn't he? Especially if Salah's not leaving.
Yeah, I like Harvey Elliott. I think he's a good player. I think he can definitely be a good squad player. I think Villa, from the outside, it almost looked like the perfect move. He'd get more minutes. He can make an impact, kind of maybe prove himself at Villa. But I just think maybe Villa have taken that next step up to being a club that's not quite challenging for the title, but they've got a lot of quality. You think of Morgan Rogers in that team. Tielemans has been brilliant this season. McGinn, Onana, they've got a lot of quality. So whether you play him kind of in the 10 or you play him on the right, I don't know. But I know he is a good player. I think there is a Premier League team that he could start for. Maybe it is more of a Brentford's. Maybe it is more of a Palace. Maybe. But I like.
Well, this is the problem: is that he actually can't go on loan again because he's had minutes with Liverpool and Villa, so he can't play for a third club this season. So he might just have to stick it out and see what happens. And then I look at Ekitike, for example. He's in a disruptive environment. He's got left, right, and Liverpool are going through a terrible time. Ekitike has been fantastic, and Šeško hasn't been brilliant. He's not been great, but he's been all right in games.
I think we got to agree that Ekitike has been better than both. And I think he's a better footballer
Ekitike,
than Gyökeres and Šeško.
Ekitike, and I don't like praising Liverpool players because, I'm an incredibly biased football fan. But wow, you know what hurts more than anything with Ekitike, is he's a die-hard United fan. He is a childhood, yes. on his Twitter page. So when we were first linked to him, before he actually went to Liverpool, like before he get linked to Liverpool, Newcastle, United fans went through his profile. There was Anthony Martial propaganda there. He was retweeting Marcus Rashford comps. He was talking about Zlatan and Paul Pogba, and he did a video with Frankfurt last season where they were like, what the club did he support as a child? Is that United? Yeah. He is a United fan. And we didn't go, and it's like, in hindsight, it just hurts because he's so damn good. And aside from anything, he's been better than, obviously he's been better than Isak this season. And kind of him being able to get a run in the team now is going to help Liverpool massively because he's just such a good striker. But